Bonjour, everyone, and welcome to Friday, August 2nd, 2024. And I'm Joe Pratt, keeping you informed of what's happening in the world. At the Olympic Games, the medal count stands like this. The U.S. leads with 43 medals, 9 gold. France is second with 36 medals, 11 gold. China is third with 31 medals, 13 gold. Great Britain fourth with 27 medals, 9 gold. And Australia is fifth with 22 medals and 11 gold. So China leads the gold count with 13 gold medals at this point. To address an ongoing controversy we talked about yesterday concerning Imane Khalif, the boxer who is representing Algeria and fighting in the women's division. Other media sources and I reported that Imane Khalif is a transgender athlete because she had failed a gender test at the World Championships for boxing last year and was not allowed to compete. Boxing is a sport that is especially sensitive to making all things fair in competition. That's why they have weight classes, thinking that a heavier person competing against a smaller person would just have an unfair advantage. Well, in past years, in many Olympic sports, you had an examination done by women doctors to actually see if an athlete had female genitalia in order to compete in women's competition. That no longer happens. In my view, that's because the athletes complained that it was being too intrusive. So they went to testing, but testosterone testing just has proven unreliable in many instances. So the IBA, the International Boxing Association, last year did 2 independent tests with Imane Khalif and Lin Yuting. The IBA has not publicly said what those tests were, but there were reports that the IBA president shared with at least one media outlet that it was a DNA test and showed both athletes had an X and Y chromosome, which does generally signal you are a biological male. However, something called Swyer syndrome is a condition where a person with an X and a Y chromosome also has female genitalia. So if all parties are telling the truth, the IBA, the media, the IOC, International Olympic Committee, and the athletes themselves and their families, both of these athletes have Swyer syndrome. You can look that up online, Swyer, S-W-Y-E-R-S. The IOC needs to communicate why they have allowed these 2 athletes to compete. If the parties involved would just share that with the public, then people on both sides of this issue could understand and deal with the repercussions. In other Olympic news, an exciting race in the men's 10,000 meters. All 3 medal winners broke the old Olympic record. Even the bronze medal winner beat the old record by 17 seconds. It was a photo finish for silver and bronze went to Grant Fisher from the U.S. Joshua Cheptegei from Uganda won gold. Pay attention to this story. A woman sprinter from Afghanistan took last in the 100-meter sprint in her preliminary heat. But the Afghan runner, Kimia Yosofi, hope I'm saying that right, was not running for gold, but for the oppressed women and girls of her country. After finishing her heat, she brought out a piece of paper with a message for the crowd to see. She held it up. The paper read, "Education, sport, our rights." And it was written in her country's colors of black, green, and red, same as the flag. Her message for Afghan girls was, quote, "Don't give up. Don't let others decide for you. Just search for opportunity and then use that opportunity," unquote. Happy birthday if it's yours today. You share a birthday with Frederic Auguste Bartholdi, the man who designed the Statue of Liberty from France, actress Myrna Loy, Shimon Peres, Carroll O'Connor, the man who played Archie Bunker, James Baldwin, actor Peter O'Toole, Representative Burgess Owens, Sam Worthington, and J.D. Vance. 13 authors have been selected as semifinalists in the Booker Prize for Fiction. The Booker Prize started in 1969 and is open to any book from any country published in the UK and Ireland. 6 American writers are among the 13 semifinalists. This award is known for jump-starting an author's career. In a related story, J.D. Vance's book, Hillbilly Elegy, has sold more than 650,000 copies since the announcement of being Trump's running mate, as it is a memoir of his early life. The top books on the New York Times best-selling list this week are for fiction. Number 5, The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. 4 is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah Moss. 3 is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. 2 is The Women by Kristen Hanna. And number 1 is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. In the nonfiction side, number 5 is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. 4 is The Demon of Unrest by Eric Larson. 3 is The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. 2 is Autocracy by Anne Applebaum. And number 1 is, as we mentioned, Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance. Top songs of the week, according to Billboard, are a rearrangement of the last couple weeks. 5 is Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. 4 is Million Dollar Baby by Tommy Richmond. 3 is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. 2 is I Had Some Help by Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen. And number 1 is A Bar Song by Shabuzi. And the most listened to songs on Spotify the last few days are a little different. Number 5 is Hotel California by the Eagles. 4 is Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars. 3 is See You Again by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. 2 is Beautiful Things by Benson Boone, and number 1 is Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. Today's quote from the sacred works of the world's religions comes from the Quran. It's Quran 13:22. Quote, "And those who are patient, seeking the countenance of their Lord, and establish prayer, and spend from what we have provided for them secretly and publicly, and prevent evil with good, those will have the good consequence of this home." Someone asked, someone asked the BuzzFeed community what things they do that if it were an Olympic event, they could certainly win gold. Well, here's some of the answers. I can pick out the perfect avocado every single time. I'd win gold in the guilty feeling mom event. For a night out, speed getting ready. I can be showered, hair done, and makeup done all within about 10 minutes. Procrastinating. I know every U.S. state and can name them faster than anyone. Conking out the second I get into a moving vehicle. Car, bus, plane, train, I can and usually nod off once I'm on. I also have the eerie ability to wake up one stop before my stop or a few minutes before arriving at my destination. Playing backgammon. Few people know it exists, and not everyone who knows how to play knows how to win. So those were the answers, some of the answers. I must confess I have never played backgammon. Backgammon, that is. Now it's on my bucket list. Joe Pratt, make it a great day.